So the MAGA infighting is continuing, and now it's basically threatening violence. Look at this. This is Marjorie Taylor Greene. She says, I am now being contacted by private firms with warnings for my safety as a hotbed of threats against me are being fueled and egged on by the most powerful man in the world. She's referring to Trump, right? So basically her and Trump have been going at it. Trump is saying now that he's not going to support her or endorse her, that kind of stuff, and he's going to support the challenger to her seat. And then, Marjorie just keeps talking about, costs are high in USA. Now she's talking about Epstein stuff, and Trump people are really upset. Let's be frank, Trump people are really upset. And in USA, in a place where there's more guns than people do have to worry about their safety. It's unfortunately a reality of living in USA. So then Marjorie then says, the man I supported and helped get elected, aggressive rhetoric attacking me has historically led to threats, right? And multiple convictions of men who were radicalized by the same type of rhetoric being directed at me now, this time by the President of the United States. As a woman, I take threats from men seriously. This is the thing, and I want to make this clear, guys. I'm no fan of MTG. I want to make that really clear. But I don't want to promote violence or anything of this kind of stuff. But again, it's the USA. There's more guns than people there. And also you got to make it clear that someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene, she promotes this kind of culture. You can look through her social media. She's got plenty of videos on there of, hey, Second Amendment this, Second Amendment that. Fantastic, right? And then she was doing some weird gun giveaway. No, for real, you can see it right there. And I've showed the video before on the channel. It's like 1 minute and 45 seconds. If you want to watch the whole thing, you can. But it's just basically her out shooting and talking about how much she, doesn't like Joe Biden and doesn't like black and brown people. That's what it boils down to. And she loves guns, right? And if you love guns and you live in Georgia, you should vote for her. That's what she says, that kind of stuff. And Kemp, the governor of Georgia, has done the same kind of stuff. That's who the voter base is there. But, these promoting this kind of culture, again, in a place that has more guns than people, this is where we're at. I just feel like the U.S. is just a cesspool of chaos at the moment. And it's basically we're watching it devolve in real time. This is Jasmine Crockett. She'll be on the Democrat side representative, and she says, okay, now that MTG has said it, do y'all now believe me when I say that Trump feels hate against those that oppose him? Will faux news, right, referring to Fox News, will faux news finally start to address that this man has created a permission structure of hate and violence, or will you only talk about it when it's one of your beloveds, right? And then Fox News is in a dilemma. Oh, should we address this stuff or not? We always promote Second Amendment and everyone should have guns. But now the MTG, who comes on our channel all the time, now that her and Trump are arguing and now people are getting threats, like how are they going to handle that? And, if again, someone like Jasmine Crockett, then they'll make fun of her. I mean, this is what Jasmine says here. Next time you want to run a story about me legally paying for security, maybe run one on the insane amount of threats that I get that you're complicit in fueling. And this is just, again, the reality of USA. It's just chaos every day. People fear for their safety because it's the reality. There's guns everywhere, right? And I've seen many reports on this to where representatives, senators, various public-facing people have to hire security teams because it is, unfortunately, a toxic environment. And then you have Trump, who just tweets out nonstop attacking whoever, and he's got a large following. He's the president, right? And it just takes one crazy person, and this is, the world of USA. It's just a reality. I don't like it. I hate it. In fact, I talk about this stuff from time to time, and people in the USA actually don't like to talk about these things because it's a daily occurrence. You have shootings every day in USA. It literally is every day. And and what can I say? And and you got Laura Loomer here. She's weighing in because I just want to show you like how toxic it is there. Laura Loomer says, "You're a millionaire, B." You can see right there. "Go hire security if you're so afraid of President Trump. You look pathetic accusing Trump of inciting violence against you. He never did such a thing. You are a compulsive liar and fraud. Enjoy your new radical left friends. Full-time victim." And it's these kind of people, this is why things don't improve in USA, basically. There's multiple reasons you can point to, but you have a lot, that's the right word to say it. I guess, how about this? One way you could describe it is, you could say it's a clown car with guns. You could say it's a Karen car with guns, right? So fueled by, head Karen of them all, which is Trump. And instead of, like, bringing people together or unifying people, what is he doing this weekend? He's out golfing. Seriously, like every weekend he just goes golfing, and then he'll tweet out, gaslight you, and say, "Oh, the Biden guy this, Biden guy that," and it's like what? Or he'll attack whatever political opponent of the week that he's attacking. It's like it's a TV show. It's like, oh, this week's villain is this person. It really is a TV show. And Lindsey Graham is tweeting this out, which is kind of crazy time to do this, because you just talking about the last video. I mean, people are losing their homes. I mean, seriously, the foreclosures are going up, and people are losing their jobs. And like we just saw mass layoffs over at Verizon and several companies. Like, we talk about this stuff on a daily basis, and he's just out golfing, having a good old time. They're having parties over there, and then there's even corruption with golf, which any one of these things in like a normal developed country would just be a massive scandal. But it's just like daily scandals. You guys may or may not have heard about this, but Trump's got a granddaughter. She profits off the presidency of the Trump, because that's what all the Trump family does. And then I guess she got in one to these pro tournament. I think she's 18, going to college next year, right? So she's basically a high school kid still, and plays in a pro golf tournament, finishes last. And we all know she got in because Trump's dad or grandfather. I mean, it's nothing shocking here, but it just shows sort of what happens when you have a country, when you basically choose people based on, oh, well, they were in a TV show and they got the right skin color. I like them. You get people who just, frankly, don't belong there, right? They're last place at the LPGA, right? Basically, professional golf, last place, So that's what connections get you. And, isn't it obvious that this is the world that devolves into? Or if you have the right connections, you can get it. I guess, are we doing the second part now? Is that what we're doing? Because someone now has a gun charge. That was part of the January 6th stuff. And unfortunately, there's even stuff that I didn't even know about that I'm just finding out today, where things are getting even more. I'll just say this. It's terrible. So I guess we're shooting, exchanging fire. It's a better way to say it, in Haiti. I didn't know we were there. I just didn't know. This just came out just a few minutes ago. U.S. Marines in Haiti exchanged gunfire with suspected gang members. I seriously didn't know that's what we were doing. I didn't know. I knew we were doing this, which I don't know why this isn't a massive scandal that it should be. I mean, there's so many scandals every day, like 20 U.S. boat strikes in 3 months. I knew that. I knew we were talking about attacking Venezuela. That's options are on the table, so we'll see if we do that. I didn't know we were exchanging fire with people in Haiti. So that's the latest one. And I read a little bit about this. This says the incident, which was not previously reported, comes after the Pentagon last year bolstered security at embassies in Haiti as it was being beset by gang violence. The country has been mired in chaos for years and no elected president since 2021 when Jovenel Moise was assassinated. So we're getting involved with this stuff. My opinion on any number of these things, I think we're stretching ourselves too thin, and we have too many incompetent people on the top, and this just won't end well. And then you have the incompetent people, infighting. I mean, there's no way this ends well. And then, like I said, look at all these scandals. It's like a scandal every day. This is the latest one now. FBI Director Kash Patel waived polygraph security screening for Dan Bongino and 2 other senior staff. So, the way that they're doing it, and Hankset's been doing this stuff as well, trying to get everyone to take a polygraph. But I guess if it's your friends, well, you don't have to do it, which is so stupid. I mean, that's why this whole thing is ridiculous. It's like a complete lowering of standards. You're just taking people based on loyalty, because it's essentially run like a mafia. And then I guess when you break loyalty, then you prove how strong you are by having all your followers attack whatever said person, right? Another way to think about it is, I was thinking about this, another way to think about Trumpers and his people. It's kind of like high school mean girls. I mean, seriously, where people are all talking about every day and who's friends with who and who's the most popular, and oh, that person's wearing the wrong clothes. I mean, it really does ends up feeling like that kind of cliquey high schooly mentality. And it's sad to see. And then I guess if you want to say it that way, it's like, the USA is a bunch of mean girls, clown car with guns. And it's like, it's all fun and games, but there's just so many guns in USA. There's so many guns. And then the other problem is with the economic downturn, it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. And I don't, mean to give you a sour note on this stuff. I just try to tell you the truth, because the person who's leading the country is out to golf every weekend and could care less. And then, when you see him in public, like his press conferences don't really make much sense. And, he can do a video every day of like Trump farted here, Trump farted there, whatever stupid stuff that he says. And I go through this stuff, and it's hard for me to follow because it's like a scandal every day. And I'm just really concerned because now we're escalating into, now we're talking about threats of violence, and it's going to get really ugly. Let's be frank. And so that's my thoughts on this. I hope we can turn the ship around, right? Change the leadership, change the discussion, change the dialogue. But we'll see. We'll see if people can wake up to see what's going on. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on this, and I appreciate your time. I'll catch you in the next video.